Here's my confession. Posted by Affectionate Goat 883. If you like these stories and want to see more, please like and subscribe. 2 girls, 1 guy, and countless messages across 3 years. Across 3 years, I, 22M, constantly cheated on my girlfriend while dating. We're now married. We met on a dating app. I was not using it for dating. We instantly clicked. But something in me kept the dating app and continued messaging people. A few months after we got serious, I decided to hide the people I was messaging and made a second Snapchat account. My GF was searching through my phone anytime we hung out. I met up with a man, maybe in his 30s, on a whim. I was mainly using the dating apps and Snapchat to send nudes and receive approval from strangers. But this day, I went over to a man's house and let him have me. I was not expecting sex, nor did I consent, but I lost the ability to stop anything from happening. Come to find out, and he's the dean of my college. After that day, I saw myself differently. I continued messaging men and women in a relentless effort for approval. In September, a few months after the first encounter, I hooked up with a girl 23. I told her I was in an open relationship. She and I remained in contact for a few months. I held on emotionally but eventually cut her off out of guilt. That next spring, I feel myself cracking. I started becoming distant with my GF and spent all my days in school keeping busy. I had started smoking, falling leaf, and drinking. Hoping I would forget what I had done. I did not. So I leaned further in. Messaging my former coworker now, falling leaf, dealer, 18F. We previously had a very flirtatious work relationship. We both always knew we had feelings for each other but didn't act on them. I used her to vent all my dirty deeds, and once again, I sought approval. That summer, second year with my GF, 18F agreed to hang out with me at the park. She became the second girl I had physically cheated with. We hung out a couple more times but only had sex once. There are countless messages with people I've never met in person, though I would flirt with and attempt to plan hookups constantly behind my GF's back. My GF really got on my trail once we moved in together. Moving in wasn't much of a choice for me. She had nowhere else to live. She always picked up tracks from what I did throughout the whole relationship, even with hiding it. But I kept up the lie. Denying everything. I couldn't accept the truth. Detaching myself from every scenario. Acting like I wasn't the one participating in these acts. But I had always done this stuff since high school. Now, in the 4th year of our relationship, newly married. We aren't nearly as romantic as I want to feel. I'm so aggravated and distant. I know she's watching. She knows the signs. She knows something is up, trying to pry it out of me subtly. Holding on to some information I can only assume may be about my cheating. I am paralyzed with anxiety on a daily basis at this point. Waiting for her to confront me. I'm ready to come clean. But it'll crush her, our families and all the friends we have. And now for the top comments. Woo, you need to see a therapist. Second, I hope she finds the truth and dumps you. She deserves better than you. Or anything you have to offer. You really are sick. How would you feel if she was cheating on you? And if romance isn't there, look in the mirror. Honestly, I think you need to see a mental health counselor. There are some deep emotional issues that you need to confront. Not to mention that it doesn't sound like you are really open and honest with your wife. Ordinarily, I would say to start with a conversation with your wife first, but it sounds like you don't know yourself enough to be able to explain why you did these things. Sincerely wish you both the best. You are not as romantic as you want to be with your wife because you feel shame and guilt for all of your dishonesty. Dishonesty kills compatibility. You feel aggravated and distant because you feel shame and guilt. You are suffering because subconsciously, you are angry about the poor decisions you have made and the pain you have caused someone that you love. You feel anxiety, the manifestation of your fear, because you know your wife suspects you, and you are fearful of a future without her. Look. I know how hard this is. There are life-changing consequences to telling her the truth. Here is what you need to understand. She already knows in her gut what's going on, and she will learn the truth one way or another. The very best chance you have at saving your marriage and relationship is to tell her everything. There should be no secrets in a marriage. You admitting your mistakes and bad decisions will mean something even if she doesn't show it. It's going to be much harder to reconcile if she finds out. And now for our next story. My partner cheated on me while I had the Rona. Says it was my fault for being so ill. Posted by Large Strawberry 780. I'm an auxiliary nurse from Renfrewshire in Scotland, working on the very front line of the Rona in a SATA unit. In April 2020, I caught the Rona and was very ill for months. My partner, now ex, decided that was the time to start an affair with a woman from his work. He is a taxi driver. I found out in August 2020. That's when I caught him trying to hide his phone from me. I knew right away he was up to no good, so I said nothing, waited until he went to bed. I then got up and checked his phone and found sex texts to a woman from his work and booking for a sex worker. I confronted him. His excuse was he was depressed because I had been so unwell. That was a comforting excuse, not. The sex worker, not much I could do about that. She doesn't care, girl is making a living. But the woman from his work outed them both by posting the texts between them on their work's Facebook page. Now, 16 months down the line, that woman has lied. Made out I'm stalking her, sending a lawyer's letter to my house claiming she got the police to me, lies. Claiming I regularly call her work, lies. And claiming I regularly post a comment about her online, lies. They think they can play the victims. I want to see her evidence that I'm apparently doing all this. I see my lawyer this week. I will countersue for defamation of character. She can have that waste of space, but she isn't destroying my good name. And now for the top comments. He was doing this long before you were sick. He's using the only excuse he has right now. Bail. Sadly, I'm a victim of not only a narcissist but a cheater. One that couldn't keep his vows for the life of him. It's best to end things for good, the sooner, the better, and doesn't allow them to bring you down. Believe me, in time, karma always comes. Glad he's an ex, glad you are retaining an attorney. It should be easily provable that you are not stalking/harassing them. Your attorney should be able to have any of your electronic devices audited to prove you aren't doing this, and you're right. They need to provide evidence of what you are alleged to have done. Good luck to you. And now for our next story. Ex-girlfriend finally tells me the truth. Posted by Blitz Thumbs. My 21 ex-girlfriend of close to 2 years admitted to hooking up with someone else while we were broken up. We had tried fixing things, but she persistently kept stating it wouldn't work between us. We had this huge fight a few months ago when I caught her cheating. When she cheated, nothing physically took place, but she told me she couldn't trust herself to be with me. After we broke up, I had a hard time getting myself together, but I managed to pull through. Some people may say I'm dumb for this, but we have kept in contact since we had a strong relationship. Yesterday she admitted to hooking up with someone when we broke up and that she was too drunk to remember. Now she's telling me how she misses our relationship and how I treated her. I really love her, but hearing that she hooked up with another guy just makes me uninterested and hurt. Considering that we're broken up when she had the hookup, should I fix things? I mean, she's coming back to me, but I'm also afraid of cheating too. TLDR, ex-girlfriend wants to get back together after hookup up and regretting it. Claims she misses me and our relationship. I love her, but the hookup bothers me and makes me less interested. Edit. I appreciate everyone's input on my situation. I decided to just cut her off, considering all of what had happened already. She asked me if I could ever see us together again. I told her no, and I could feel she wasn't prepared for that answer. I've always been the one there for her in the relationship, so I know my answer threw her off guard. I'm just gonna move on and work on myself. The gym is definitely gonna be my second home for a while. Thanks again, everyone. And now for the top comments. You are her backup plan. She will dump you again when she finds someone better. Basically, she broke up with you to hook up with Chad or Tyrone, other guy, and since that didn't go anywhere, she's looking at you as a safety net. I wouldn't take her back. I'd just be her friend at most. The fact she cheated the first time shows that she doesn't respect you alone. Women aren't attracted to men that they can't respect. Also, it seems like there was some ongoing chemistry between her and the guy she hooked up with while you were dating. You have to ask yourself, what are the advantages for you to let her come back? Is she going to make your life better in any way? Or worst, because you'll be paranoid about whatever she'll be doing? Must a list of pros and cons. Leave sex and love out of it. Love, more passion than love, by the way, is not to be accounted for because it's a prerequisite. Sex is the same. But sex and passion don't make your life better. If the pros outweigh the cons, it makes life bearable. And consider that if she gets back with you, she'll have a feeling that she can do anything and you'll take it, so it's probable that she will end up trying to take advantage of you. All my best wishes. What's your say on this? Do you have a similar story? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.